Welcome to another week of CyberTalk with Bob and Chris. Hey, Chris.
What's going on?
Um, Not much. I wanted to share some new stuff this week around. We talked a couple weeks ago, probably a month ago, about the FTC safeguards, and I was talking to a CPA this week, and he had no clue that there were new regulations out about what FTC, the Federal Trade Commission safeguards changes are out there. I'm not
Uh,
sure if there's I'm not sure if there's where the disconnect is. But he's like, how are they going to tell us about this? And it got me thinking that they, a lot of people might not even know that they are now being covered or being required to comply with some new standards because that whole list expanded.
well,
And
either
got
expanded or they just clarified it. Did this CPA do taxes?
a lot of yes, he does taxes. And
Man, how do you? The IRS has been pushing this for a little bit, like notifying people. So it's weird they didn't know. That's kind of interesting. Okay.
yeah, I know. Let me just pop this up. So yeah,
Yeah.
so you know if you go through and read that reg in there, it's talking about the FTC now has this classification of non-banking financial institutions, and these are people that don't have to register with the FTC or have any licenses associated with them, but but they now have to comply, and it's a pretty big list.
Yeah, I think what was it, auto dealers are probably the biggest one that are getting slapped with this.
Yeah,
And
auto dealers got called out directly in the
oh,
regulation
I,
as in there, and then it talks about mortgage brokers, payday people, finance companies.
collection
Um,
agencies, which is fun.
yeah,
You know,
and
I mean, you've seen how let's be real, right? This is the whole idea of this is to protect our private information,
absolutely.
right? Uh, you've seen how auto dealers are with private information, right? Like recently, have you seen it recently?
Last time I bought a car, when I sat
Yeah.
down with the closing agent, I bought it for cash. There was still a whole sheet of labels with all my information on it. I have no idea what happened to the extra labels.
Yeah, I got lucky. I bought a car last year, and most of it was digital, so I didn't have to do a lot of paper signing. So I was kind of
Okay.
actually happy about that because I felt like it was better protected. But before that, every time I bought a car, yeah, they just had a bunch of paperwork. Our social security numbers just hanging out there, stuff like that. I wasn't real too happy about that. I don't know. I don't know how many people know about the disposal rule either.
Yeah, that was interesting when you pulled out early when we were looking at the reg in the green room.
Yeah, for 2 years, you can only keep information from 2 years from the last time that you've conducted business with them. Now, something now, if you can rule that it's critical to the business, you can make an exclusion for that. But like that's going to be on you to prove, right? So
Yeah,
I like it because like quite frankly, if you're sent to a credit agency or something like that for whatever reason, do they really need your information after 2 years? No, no.
no, and even
Um,
like even looking at the list, like you're working with a credit counselor or something or a tax preparation firm. Well, tax firm might need to keep that around for the 7 years, like per IRS regs. But
oh, and one thing you don't see on here too is colleges, universities are covered under this.
so colleges have a requirement to maintain those student records.
Yeah, well, they lost a laptop for a college I went to in 2001, and I got a letter in 2019 that my social security number might have been exposed. Dude, I haven't I haven't been to your school in 18 years. Why do you still have my social security number like not obfuscated?
I know
I,
actually, there's somebody that we know that you know this person too, that
yeah.
they got an email from their university, and the email included their social security number is as the clear text portion of the email name. Yep,
Okay.
went to a lot of people,
I
and that was tech. I would say that was a data breach. Nothing ever happened of it, but that data is
well,
sitting out there now.
well, I mean, look, they sent it to that person. They've cleared it, sent it to other people.
Oh no, we actually
right?
found out who they sent it to. There was a whole list of people that it was sent out from
Oh,
the alumni department.
oh, that's good
They
to
were
know.
trying they were trying to get fundraising.
Yeah, and it's really easy to go get a new social security number too.
Yeah, right. But investment advisors here are listed that even investment advisors that aren't registered with that aren't required to register with the SEC have to comply. I was looking through the rules. I'm wondering if insurance agents or insurance agencies have to comply. Some of the insurance agents sell investment products. So, but the last one in the weird one they put in the rule is finders.
Yeah, I didn't dig too much into that
The way I
from
read
what I was
finders
looking.
was if like if you're in a networking group or you're making referrals for people to go get mortgages and other things, even though you're not part of the transaction, you're now covered by this rule. It was crazy. I'm not sure how that's even going to be
Yeah,
enforced.
I wonder if they're going after like people that are doing assignment of contracts. Like they're going out and they're wholesaling houses. I
Yeah, I
wonder if
don't know.
that's what they're kind of looking for. Because like what they'll do is they'll get somebody in their contract, obviously, and then they'll resell that contract to somebody else, like to the final investor or whatever that's going to buy it. So I'm wondering if that's what they're trying to cover. Because I'm trying to figure out like the whole idea is you have to have customer information that's pertinent to that customer, that's private information. So like as a finder, like if you don't collect that, I don't know how they'd really assess that. But we're not lawyers, by the way. So just so
Right,
everybody
and
knows, we're not lawyers.
if we backpedal a little bit, this really is the FTC cracking down to put safeguards in place to protect
Yeah.
consumer information, and they do spell out 9 different things that people need to be doing, that businesses need to be doing at
Yep.
the bare minimum to be compliant. And in this case, there's both penalties are both monetary and criminal, I believe.
Oh yeah, there's civil and criminal for the FTC.
So,
I,
yeah,
I think the big thing takeaway from this is if you're unsure if you have to follow GLBA and the FTC safeguards rule is part of that, you probably should talk to an attorney. Probably should talk to somebody else, to make sure that if you have a compliance officer, talk about that because like if you don't know and ignorance doesn't get you out of civil and criminal fines.
yep. I'm actually going to be doing a webinar probably in 2 weeks, talking about these 9 focus points to help people know what's going on, because
Okay.
these rules got the FTC extended in December, extended the deadline for this into June,
Yep.
because the Small Business Administration reached out and said there's not enough cyber resources to get all this work done. And guys, this is
True.
not something that your IT team can knock out in an afternoon. And it's going to take a couple months to get you where you need to be compliant, if you have to be compliant.
Well, I mean, just look at a risk assessment, right?
Yep.
Like just a cyber risk assessment is not going to take 2 minutes to do. It depends on who you are. I know you're going to talk about the nine things on a webinar, but like an incident response plan. It's not something you're going to get done in 5 minutes.
I can't
These are
just
just
buy
some
it.
of the things that are on this
I can't
list.
just buy it. I can't just buy one online.
I mean, you can buy a template. You still got to customize it for your business. You know, and also, what is it? The exclusion is 5,000 records. So if you have less than 5,000 records, they're like you're not excluded from the entire thing, but you're excluded from like some of the major aspects of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to understand what 5,000 records really means. Like, does it mean 5,000? When they say record, do they mean a person, or do they mean
Well,
like
well, here's the thing.
if you have 10
Depend,
records on one person, does that count as 10 records? Right.
depending on the jurisdiction of where the people are,
Okay.
a record could be an email address associated with a name, and that's PII in New Jersey.
Yeah, but this is a federal guideline, so it's like, what do they determine
True.
what do they determine it as? Like California, like okay, like so you get New York Shield Law, you got California Consumer Protection Act, like those are way stricter than most privacy policies. So those will dictate some level for the state level, but like from a federal level, what defines a record? And that's something I didn't see that was really easily spelled out. obviously we don't fall under it technically, but like we obviously offer services that can help people satisfy some of this, and we can help them make a plan and whatnot. But like ultimately, I think getting that clarity is important for any business owner, because if you're close to 5,000, or if there's a question mark, you definitely want to make sure you're doing not the bare minimum, but actually going over and doing the full thing, because
Absolutely.
you don't want to risk your business for this. Because what are the fines, like $46,000 a day or something crazy like that?
It was some crazy numbers, but yeah, like I said, I just wanted
Yeah,
people to really wanted to let people know that they might fall under this rule without even knowing it.
I was doing some research earlier today with Jenna and my team, and we were looking at debt collectors, right? Because they fall under this, and we were just like,
Oh,
okay, cool. Let's go look at some debt collectors. Let's uh, maybe it's a cold calling campaign, whatever. And I looked at Google reviews. I saw debt collectors with like 5-star Google reviews. First of all,
they got me.
how?
They got me paid. Okay.
Oh, good point. I didn't really read them that way. I'm thinking, how does the debt collector get 5-star Google reviews? But that makes more sense.
They provided excellent service
Eh,
and harassed the individual enough to get paid. I don't know.
that's fair. Well, they're buying the debt though, usually, right? So I guess you
I
could
don't
give
know.
them like, hey, they paid our debt. They paid for some of our debt. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. I was like, 5-star for debt collector. That's kind of weird.
Like I said, I've got an FTC webinar coming up. Do you have anything on the books?
We do. I don't have it finalized.
That's okay.
We're actually planning an event. We were going to do it here in February, but we're a little bit behind, so we're going to actually do it March Madness style. So
Okay.
yeah, we're going to give people a playbook. So the playbook would cover some of the FTC safeguards, but it's more of a generalized playbook for that pretty much any business can follow from a general guideline standpoint. That's something that we're going to have available at the event. It's a live event. We might actually do a web like a webinar style event or something like that later with the same content, just to spread out the region, because I mean this is just a local thing. So
Well, I know the planning for that's early on. I just put you on the spot and didn't know what you had on the books, so I figured
well, now I'm gonna have one next week. When's yours? 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Okay, mine will be next week. Okay, maybe not, but it just sounds funny. Like, actually, I'm gonna be on a different. I'm gonna be on a podcast on Monday, so that's kind of cool. I
Nice.
didn't really share much of that, but I'll be on a podcast talking about. Um, well, I'll wait for it the podcast to be released. I'll tell you what I'm talking about. It has something to do with cybersecurity. Shocking, I know.
Okay. Cybersecurity shocking. Oh,
Well, no, shocking. That's
oh, got
shocking.
it.
That's about cybersecurity. Yeah.
Got it. With anybody I know?
No.
Okay, cool. Well,
So it's a smaller podcast, but I'm pretty excited about it. I got invited there. I'm testing one of their products. Actually, it's a vendor, so I'm testing one of their products.
so
And
hey, we're at 13 minutes here. We should probably wrap this up. We're starting to ramble. Anyway, guys, check out
this is
the
the
FTC.
entertainment piece, man. Come on now.
Check out the FTC. The actual FTC, the link to the FTC
Yeah.
website is at the bottom here. I'll leave it up so that you can write it down. If you jump into the page initially, you're going to see that it's old. This page was actually, there's some amendments in the page that were added in December 2022, and
Yep.
like I said, there's a lot of stuff in there to digest, and it's not something that your team needs to do, but. Stay tuned. Watch the social media feeds for webinars from both
Yeah.
of us around this. And
And definitely read that before bed.
oh
It's good
yeah,
reading material. It'll keep you awake. It will not put you to sleep at all.
I could have used that the other night when I was thinking about the pain from my teeth.
Oh man, that's another story. Hey, look, Bob got his teeth fixed. Sort of.
Yeah, we got teeth now, and
Step.
took 3 dentists to get me the right treatment plan, but it does pay to search around.
Yeah. Hey, second
So,
opinions are always important. So if you're, that's another thing to take
dude,
in.
hour and a half in and out.
Well, that's good,
Yeah, it
man.
was good.
That's really good. All right. I will
Okay,
talk to you next week. Everybody have a good week.
bye guys.